Yo, what's up? It's happening. You can't believe it. It's finally happening. I'm Big Mama Steph, and welcome to the first episode of the Big Mama Steph Show. Let's get it. Yo, like I said, I'm Big Mama Steph, and welcome to the first episode of this podcast I've been wanting to do forever. Um, and it's pretty much going to be covering topics from that things that interest me. Like I'm a huge sports fan. I've been a gamer all my 34, soon to be 35 years of life. And I always just wanted to have a quote unquote show, something that I could just talk about things that are important to me. I'm also a content creator, I guess you can say, but I'm mostly streaming on Twitch. Play a lot of games there, play Apex and Overwatch and a bunch of other stuff. We like to have a good time. I have a really cool community. People that I've known forever, people I've just met yesterday. But nonetheless, it's always a good time. So if you do like video games or anything else, and I like to chat a lot, so come to my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Big Mama Steph. That's BIGGMOMMASTEPH. Come by, say hi. We like to have a good time over there. But nonetheless, that's all that stuff. But like I said, this podcast is pretty much going to be me covering everything, at least the stuff that interests me in sports and gaming and whatever else is just going on in the world or the internet per se. Uh, but I think we're going to start with some sports stuff. It's currently December 10th, 2023. It's about 11 in the morning. I kind of was like, I've been holding off doing the show, but I said, I'm just chilling here. I'm not really doing much. So I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I've been contemplating making this either a video or a audio podcast. I think we're gonna start with audio at first. Maybe at some point we'll switch to video. And obviously it'll still be here on Spotify or whatever else you like to hear your podcast. I'm gonna see if I can try to upload it in other places. But for now, we're gonna keep it here. We're gonna keep it simple. But we're gonna start off with some baseball news. Ohtani, that monster of a player, just still signed a 10-year deal worth $700 million with the Dodgers, which is crazy. Like 700 million. That's just thinking about that much money drives me crazy. And the fact that I mean he's worth it. He's pretty much been, if not the best player in the last few years. Um, if anybody doesn't know, he pitches and he hits, which is obviously something very very rare, especially in any sport. But in baseball, it's really really rare to have somebody who's actually good at both. He's matter of fact, he's great at both. Let's just be honest. He spent, I think, it's been like what 3 4 years he's been in the league. He spent it with the Los Angeles Angels. And they haven't really done much. The Angels have been kind of quiet as far as like making noise throughout the season and the playoffs. I think he probably was like, it's time to move on. And it doesn't surprise me that he stayed in LA. I mean, it's LA. I've never been there, but I've heard the weather's crazy. I'd probably never live in LA personally because I heard the cost of living is through the roof. I am in New Jersey, by the way, just to clarify. Um, but 700 million is crazy. He won't be pitching next year though. That's the only the thing that's kind of crazy. He's pretty much gonna probably be DHing for the most part. Um but 700 million is still nutty, man. That's a that's a lot of freaking money. But I am a Yankees fan to my heart, and us getting Soto, I was so happy we got Soto. We needed some offense, especially after last year. Um like Judge was, he was our offense when he played. He was pretty much it. We had great pitching. We had the freak is his name? I don't know. I'm not really in the baseball like mindset right now because it's like literally December. But like Stanton struggled last year big time. So it's we needed somebody to come up with some offense. Our offense struggled a lot, honestly, last year, and it wasn't too pretty. It wasn't too pretty as a Yankees fan to watch us struggle. We barely got over 500 last year, which is kind of crazy to say. Um, like Garrett Cole was great, but that was kind of it. Like as far as it was like Cole and Judge, it was pretty much our 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 team pretty much was those two, and it showed. Obviously, like I said, Stanton he definitely was off, and we had a bunch of injuries and things or whatever. Torres didn't play too bad, but it just never clicked. It never came together. But it's nice that we picked up Soto. I was so happy when I heard about it. I was like, man, we can finally get some offense going, um, and everything. But that's enough of baseball. That's enough of baseball. On to football, which I enjoy thoroughly during this time of year. I'm a Cowboys fan. I know I probably get some unfortunately's or some ills or whatever, but I love my boys regardless. I'm not one of those Cowboys fans who feels like we should win the Super Bowl every year. There were years that I feel like we should have definitely at least made it to the Super Bowl, and we definitely underachieved. We've been underachieving for almost since I've been born. Like I said, I'll be 35 next month. Um, the last time they were successful was in the 90s, and well, at least their last Super Bowl, and I was about 6 or 7 years old when they won their last Super Bowl. So it's been a struggle. They're the only team of all my favorite teams that haven't won the championship. Well, not all of them. I'm also, like I said, I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a Miami Heat fan. I enjoy UConn basketball, both men and women, and I'm also a New York Liberty fan, which I'm obviously happy the way our season turned out. Obviously, I wish we would have obviously won a championship. We definitely came up short, but it was nice to even be back at the finals. It's nice to be relevant as a Liberty fan. I've been a fan of the Liberty since it started in the late '90s. So like, it was nice to see us at least like competitive back in the finals. Still like one of the two best teams in the league. Vegas was obviously they had been together and everything, and they got a crazy roster. So mad respect to them. Asia Wilson's a beast, and it was nice as sidebar. Like I said, I watched the WNBA, and I know a lot of people don't, but it was nice to like have some actual competition for like MVP and all that stuff like that. Breanna Stewart, Asia Wilson, and Alyssa Thomas. They all had crazy seasons. I don't think I don't I, like me personally. Breanna Stewart ended up winning the MVP finals. I mean, regular season MVP. Um, but like Alyssa Thomas had a crazy season. I think she like averaged like a triple double. Like it was nuts. She was literally putting her team on her back. So shout out to Alyssa Thomas. I've always been a fan of her, even back when she was at Maryland. And Asia Wilson's just she's Asia Wilson. Like the girl's a beast. Period. She was a beast in college. She's brung it to the pros, and Vegas is going to be around for a long time. As long as she's on that roster, they're going to be fine. Obviously, they have other weapons, Plum and Chelsea Gray, and like the fact that Candace Parker was literally hurt all season, and they were pretty much steamrolling through the season. Us and them kind of meeting in the finals wasn't a shock to no one. Both teams we were pretty much steamrolling. Like I remember we had some tough games, but us two making it in the finals wasn't, I think, a shock to anybody's system. But I wouldn't be shocked if it happens again next year, even with the possibility of Caitlin Clark coming into the league next year. I do not know who has a top pick in the WNBA. I don't know if they have they done the draft lottery. I really don't know off the top of my head, but nonetheless, um, it was great to see the Liberty back in the finals, nonetheless. But back to the NFL. Like I said, uh, I'm a Cowboys fan, so this is gonna be a big game tonight. Us and Philly in Dallas. Philly won the first one, but I legit think we should win this game tonight. But I'm an honest Cowboy fan when I say that I'm never really comfortable. I'm never really comfortable when we play games. It's like we'll look good all season, and then we'll have this game and just like something crazy happens during the game, and it's like really like that happened. Like even I believe that was not yeah that was last week when we played Seattle. Um, we were up three and they had no timeouts. It was under 2 minutes, and it was third down, and we throw the ball and stop the clock. And I'm like, why are we throwing the ball? Even if we run it and lose a yard, it's like, why are we throwing the ball right here? Run the ball to run the clock, keep the clock running, make sure you stay in bounds, and we're good. Luckily, our defense came through and pulled us out, and we won that game. But man, they was close to pissing me off because I was sitting there watching that. I'm like, no way, no way, this is about to happen. No way. But nonetheless, we pulled it out. We got a good quality win because, according to everybody, we're not playing anybody. All we can do is play, the teams that are in front of us. Um, and I will say, obviously, the teams we've played aren't great. We were not gonna act like the Giants or the Panthers. We played the Commanders. Thanksgiving that they were any of a quality team, any quality teams or any teams that's going anywhere anytime soon. And like I said, we play Seattle. Seattle's. I'm not surprised that game was close. They have a lot of good weapons. Obviously, Metcalf. They had this young guy who was pretty good. One of their receivers. He was doing his thing. He had a touchdown that came back. But he was doing pretty well. And as a person who's, like I said, I live in Jersey, so I see all the Giants and Jets games weekly. Seeing Geno Smith be successful is nice. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy that he's doing well in Seattle. Just a sidebar. Um, as a fan of football, I'm happy for Geno Smith, like for real. And it is good to see him playing well, actually have a chance to do something. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. It's pretty much, Philly, us, San Fran, and the Lions, and then the other three spots are pretty much up for grabs. So, like I said, but I think we should come away with this one tonight. I know Jalen Hurts is a little banged up, and they've been kind of going back and forth with him possibly not playing. And I'm like, he's gonna play. Like, it's no way. I think we definitely need this game if we want to even have a chance of winning the division. Possibly getting a 1 seed, which I honestly think San Fran's pretty much gonna grab that. They seem to be getting healthy at the right time. They have the full package. As much as I hate to say it, the 49ers have the full package to easily have the NFC run through San Francisco, and it wouldn't shock to anybody if they make it to the Super Bowl. McCaffrey's out of his mind. That defense is great. Debo Samuel, and Brock Purdy. And I kind of want to touch on this Brock Purdy guy. Like, I just feel like he's a good quarterback. I feel like you can't, like, we all talk about people who are trash, who are bums, but I feel like you cannot play a professional sport well if you're not at least decent at worst. Like, you're still it's still professional athletes. But I just don't like how the NFL is like, I feel like they're still trying to find the next Tom Brady so bad that they're trying to, and I don't want to put race into this, but it's like they're just trying to find the next great white quarterback because they're always trying to put Justin Herbert in our face, put Brock Purdy in our face. When people it's like they don't talk about people like Lamar Jackson, who's probably top 2, 3 best quarterbacks in the league. I believe like Mahomes is still a thing. People act like he doesn't exist anymore for some odd reason. But it's like they're trying to find the next great white quarterback. They're trying to look for the next Brady, and they keep putting these guys on us. And I'm black, and I will say this: I am proud to say that there are a lot of black quarterbacks in the league, starting quarterbacks. Mahomes, Jackson, Hurts. It's good to see C.J. Stroud doing his thing down at in for the Texans, who I believe are I think they're like number one in their division or something crazy like that. But no, they're not number one. They're 7-5. They're 7-5. Jacksonville's first in that division, and even maybe somebody like Trevor Lawrence. Like they always trying to push these quarterbacks in our face. I'll give it Lawrence at least the fact that he's come up clutch. He's been in the playoffs. I think they made the playoffs last year. I believe they made the playoffs. But they keep trying to push Justin Herbert. But I'll give Brock Purdy this. He knows how to manage the game. He knows how to go out there and win games for you. I will never call that man a trash quarterback. I just feel like that they're kind of trying to push him, talking about, I don't think he's gonna get MVP. Do I think he has good numbers this year? Heck yeah, but I don't think he's gonna get MVP. The race is pretty much between Mahomes, I believe, Lamar Jackson, Dak. They've thrown Brock Purdy in there, which is fine, I guess. It's they're probably I'll say that the 49ers are probably the best complete team in the league. I don't think, even if you don't like the 49ers, you can't disagree. I don't think you can't like, for like the Cowboys. Like, I love my team, but our running game hasn't been great. Pollard has, I feel like I've barely seen him most games. The last few games he's kind of picked it up. And our defense is good, but we obviously miss Diggs. And Bland was getting cooked last week. And as much as we love the fact that he's got the interceptions for touchdown record, he's got that already. I love Micah Parsons. He's probably my favorite player on the team. But we're really inconsistent. We're really inconsistent, and that's been our biggest issue, I think, throughout the years, even through like the Romo years, which that's a whole nother can of worms. But people called Romo trash, and it's like, it's still a team sport here. Romo never really had a star running back. He had a bunch of great receivers, obviously T.O., Dez, Roy Williams was a good one. He had a bunch of good receivers, but no offense to like not Julio Jones, Julius Jones and Marion Barber, they weren't starting backs. DeMarco Murray obviously was. And I feel like that year with when we played the Packers, the whole Dez didn't catch it year, that was our best chance to win. And I feel like we got screwed. To this day, I'll say it, I'll go to the grave saying this. Dez caught that ball. It was a catch. And anybody who says that, I'm sorry, you're a hater. Screw that. I didn't know that catching the ball and taking 3 steps wasn't a catch, but go off. But nonetheless, it's like, that was probably our best shot to make it to the Super Bowl. Because if we would have won that game, if we would have got that way, we would have at least made it to the Super Bowl. Because Seattle wasn't that great that year. Like, they were good, but they weren't that great. We would have beat them easily. I'm sorry. We would have easily beat them. And I believe it was the Patriots in Seattle that year. And we would have definitely given the Patriots a game. Not to say we would have won, but we would have gave them a game at least. But nonetheless, it's like, we're so inconsistent. I can never really count on us. Philly's looked kind of shaky. Everyone's talking about how great Philly has been and talk about, the people they've played. Obviously, the last like 4 to 5 weeks, they've played good teams, but before that, they were struggling. They would just pull out the game when they needed to, which is respect, because football's kind of like that. Like, you especially with playoff runs and stuff, you don't have to have a complete 60-minute great game. Like, you can pull out a game at the end. We've watched a lot of teams who played in a wild card weekend, or even wild card teams, go to the Super Bowl. Like, it's not, uncommon, because football is one and done. There's not like a series like the NBA, the NHL, baseball. Like, there's no series. Hockey, it's one game, and that sometimes it makes the games exciting. That's why like the NCAA tournaments are exciting. We all love watching the NCAA tournaments. That's why you see all the Cinderella teams, because it's one game. You could have an off game and it could change your entire season. And that's no disrespect to Philly, but they don't really have, besides us in the last few weeks, obviously not counting last week because they kind of got dub trucked by San Fran, just like we did. I'll throw that out there, just like we did. They don't really have super quality wins themselves, and it pisses me off that people are just like acting like, oh, the Cowboys haven't played. Philly hasn't really played anybody else since they started the whole streak against us. The only couple wins I'll say, they played Vikings early in the season when they were at full strength. Cousins was there, Jefferson was there, whatever. That's a quality win. But they struggled against the Commanders twice. They did beat Miami, who's like the AFC version of us. Everyone says they haven't played anybody really, which is kind of true. Like I said, I know we haven't played super quality teams. Whatever, like what we're supposed to do. Change the schedule as the season goes. Like, that's not how it works. But these next few games will be very telling for my Cowboys, because even after this, we have the Bills, who we know they can score, even though they were like a 6-6 record. We got to play Miami and we have to play Detroit. So like, it's gonna be very telling how good we are come into these playoffs. But nonetheless, like Philly struggled against Washington twice. They lost against the Jets. It was a stupid loss. We know they're not. No, the Jets aren't better than Philly. Like it's just not. It's not smart to say. Just like our loss against the Cardinals. Like we shouldn't have lost against Arizona. But it's always something about us and those Cardinals that either something weird happens or we end up losing. Something always weird happens when we play the Cardinals. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fact that it used to be in our division. But it's I don't know, it's just something about when we play Arizona. Stuff happens. But this game to us, I think, is really huge for us. If we want to win the division, if we want to try to get the 1 seed, it's gonna be huge because, like I said, we have the Bills, Dolphins, Lions, and I believe the Commanders to end the season. And the Eagles, after our game, they have Seattle, which is, Seattle's going to give them a game. But then they have the Giants twice and the Cardinals. Like, I will say this. The Giants haven't been playing super bad this week. It's the past few weeks. They haven't been playing super bad. They haven't been playing great, but they haven't been playing super bad. And you know how it is with division games. Teams like that would love to ruin your season. So that's why they'll play the best games of their lives. But Philly should win their next 4 games after us, especially if they lose this one. They're going to come out. They're going to try to get a good seed as much as they can, get quality games in. I don't think they're going to risk injuries to anybody. Like if Hurts gets banged up again or something like that, I don't think they're going to risk him out there because they're going to need him for the playoff run, obviously. And they have a bunch of other weapons like Brown, of course. Brown is a beast. Dude's crazy. Swift's pretty good. What they call guy, the skinny receiver. They call him Skinny Batman. I forgot his name. Devontae Smith, I believe is his name. But yeah, they got plenty of weapons all over across the board. Them signing Shaq Leonard. He was pretty much picking between us or my Cowboys or Philly. He went with Philly. You do your thing. But nonetheless, it's gonna be a crazy run. The game tonight's gonna be good. Let's see what else. Let me go through some of these games and see who. I'll make a couple picks. Let's just do that because we have. Let's see. Oh yeah, and New England coming out getting a win against Pittsburgh Thursday, which was kind of weird. There were a lot of Patriots fans who were kind of pissed about it because they're trying to get that 1 seed. Let's take a break, and then I'll come back with my picks for. What week is it? Week 14, which is crazy. NFL season always seems to fly by. But we'll come back with some picks, and I'll probably get into some gaming stuff because this week's been kind of crazy for gaming. So hold on, your girl will be right back. All right, back. We're gonna make some picks for week 14. We're gonna go over some gaming news because it's been a crazy gaming week. If you're a gamer, but we're gonna go down some of these games. We got I think everybody's pretty much playing. I don't think. Oh no. Washington and Arizona are on a bye week. But yeah, we're gonna go through some of the games. We got Tampa and Atlanta. Let me see who's got the spread. It looks like Atlanta does by 2. This is pretty much probably gonna be for I won't say gonna be for the division right now. Atlanta's leading that division right now at 6-6. Tampa Bay's 5-7. Like I said, Atlanta has the spread by 2. I definitely go on Atlanta to this one. I will say that's probably going to be a tight game, though. I'm not going to lie. Baker Mayfield hasn't been playing terrible this season, so it's nice. It's nice to see Baker doing his thing, too. But I got Atlanta winning this because I feel like they have this – they're kind of gritty. I do like the way Atlanta plays. Excuse me. And but, yeah, going to the Falcons. We got the Lions and Bears. I'm picking the Lions, of course. They got the 3.5-point spread. It's a division game. The Bears have it. I feel like the last how have they been doing? I feel like they've been they won last week. They beat Minnesota. They had a close one against the Lions the week before that. So it wouldn't be like this game might be close. I still think Detroit has enough to pull us out. And it's nice to see Detroit actually playing well. As a person who's just like a sports fan, I enjoy seeing the Lions play. All right. We'll see them in how they do in the playoffs, but obviously they should pretty much, I think they're pretty much like running away with their division. I think they're up by a few games, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, they're 9-3. Both Minnesota and Green Bay are 6-6. I'll get on Green Bay for in a second, and Chicago's 4-8, kind of bringing up the rear in that division. We got the Colts Bengals. The Bengals came out with a win last week against the Jaguars, who lost Lawrence late in the game. That game was pretty tight throughout. The Colts are 7-5 right now. Are they who's okay? Yeah, that's the South. I always forget that the Colts are in the AFC South, which is it's so backwards. I say it all the time. Like we're not supposed to be in the NFC East. To be honest, if they switch us and the Colts, it'll pretty much even it up. Will we us in the AFC South, Colts in the NFC East would make more sense. Like because the Colts aren't in the South at all, obviously. So what? Never mind. Whatever. But yeah, who is it? The Colts and the Bengals. Since he's a 2.5 favorite. I think it's a home game for Cincy. I can see Cincy pulling this one out, even though Joe Burrow's out for the rest of the season, which kind of sucks because I love Joe Burrow. He's to me, if you had to pick that one white quarterback who's like the guy, at least for me, it's Burrow. Because a healthy Burrow is crazy. I love Joe Burrow. I love his everything, his swag, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals, but barely. The Colts have actually not been playing super bad lately themselves. It's some teams that kind of picking up steam. They've won their last 4, so it's and they've been putting up points. Besides the Patriots game, they put up 27-10, 27 and 31, even though it's against the Panthers, Patriots, Bucks, and Titans. But nonetheless, they pulled off 4 straight after looking like they they look like they were gonna do much. But nonetheless, I'm picking the Bengals in that one. Then we have the Jaguars and the Browns. The Browns are favored by 2. Lawrence is scheduled to play, so that one's tricky. Like the spread has Cleveland winning, which would surprise me. But I'm gonna go Jacksonville here. They're 5-0 on the road, but the Browns are 5-1 at home. So one of those things ain't gonna pan out for somebody. But I'm going with the Jaguars in a close one for sure. I feel like it's gonna be like 27-20 or something like that. But I'm going with the Jaguars in that game. We got Panthers Saints. The Panthers, poor Panthers. But I'm going with the Saints here. They're 5-7. They're still like fighting for a playoff spot. I don't see any way that the Panthers are gonna win this. I hate to say that because we know how that is. Teams like that, they're looking to ruin people's season. They're looking, they're trying to keep their jobs as well. So it's like you don't never know with these games like this at the end of the year. But I'm going with the Saints. They have a 5.5. They have 5.5 spread. But yeah, I'm going with the Saints here. Texans and Jets. I'm going with the Texans. Texans have been playing really well lately. They're 7-5. Like I said, that South is kind of tight with them, Jacksonville and the Colts. And they have a very favorable schedule coming down. Looks like they're playing a lot of division games. I think they play the Jets today. They'll be playing the Titans, Browns, Titans, and then Colts. But I got the Titans winning that one. I mean Texans, excuse me. They have the Texans winning the Texans versus the Jets. The Jets quarterback situation, it's just bad. Like it's nothing else you could say about it. It's just bad. I got the Texans in that. Rams and Ravens. Going with the Ravens. They're 7.5 point favorites. Not surprising. But I don't know. Like the Rams are 6-6, and they are coming east. I always have this theory about these West teams who come east and play like these 1:00 games because like they're what is like the time clock of like your body clock or whatever you want to call it from coming from west to east. Is always different, especially if it's a 1:00 game and you're a West team from the West. But I'm going with the Ravens. I'll go with the Ravens in that one, kind of easy. Even though their receiver, what's his name? Nausea? I don't even know how to say his name. I picked him up on my fantasy team, which I kind of will talk about my fantasy team as well. I picked him up on my fantasy team, and the dude's been producing for me, so I have no problems if he at least scores a couple touchdowns, whatever he does. But yeah, I'm still picking the Ravens in that one. And then let's go to the 4 games. We have 4 4:00 games. Vikings Raiders. I'm going with the Vikings. just cause I just the Raiders have been, they are 5-7, but they've been pretty much like a excuse my language shit show. Um, and the Vikings have actually been playing okay. Dobbs has been playing all right for them, and Jefferson might be back soon. So the Vikings possibly making a run down the stretch, maybe, sort of, kind of, to at least like make the playoffs, because I believe they still have a shot at the playoffs, because that, the top of the NFC is heavy. It's the bottom that's pretty like open field. It's open season, man. Everybody's 6-6, 5-7. So Minnesota, I think right now, if they playoffs started now, they'd be in. They literally would be the 6th seed right behind us, who the 5th seed. So like that wouldn't surprise me if they win this game today. I'm going Minnesota in that game. We have Seahawks and 49ers. This game's gonna be interesting. It's in San Fran. I'm gonna pick San Fran. But like I said, they're 13.5-point favorites. Good grief. Sheesh. I forgot about Ayuk. That's what I'm saying. They have a lot of good weapons. And like I said, Brock knows how to manage the game. Like, I'm not gonna like bash the guy. And McCaffrey's just that man's all world. He could do everything on the field as a back. But I'm gonna go San Fran in this one. I wouldn't be surprised to see Seattle give them a little something. Like I said, division games. You know how teams are with division games. And Seattle is still in the playoff race. They are 9th in the NFC right now. So they're looking for some dubs to possibly sneak up in the playoffs. But I'm going San Fran in this one. Bills Chiefs. This one is going to be a good one. Kansas City, I believe they're coming off a loss? Question mark? Checking. I'm checking. Yes, they are coming off a loss. They lost to the Packers, which I will talk about. Just like I said, I will talk about soon. I think they're going to be looking to get a dub. The Bills, I believe, are coming off a bye week. I believe, yeah, because I have Josh Allen on my fantasy team, and I played Jordan Love last week, what I did not mind, because Jordan Love was doing his thing. So keep doing your thing, Jordan Love. But yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs in this one. They're only favored by 1. I think it's gonna be one of those high scoring games, like where both teams scores at least 30 apiece. That wouldn't surprise me. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Broncos Chargers. I'm going with the Broncos. The Broncos have been kind of picking up some steam lately. The Broncos, they after they did lose last week, but they had won their previous 5, which isn't. Remember how they started? They were literally 1-5, and in the last 5 games, about 6 games. No, they were 1-5, and then in the last 6 games, they're 5-1. They took a complete flip, which is crazy. It's crazy. But I got the Broncos. I got the Broncos in this game. The Chargers never impressed me. I like Justin Herbert, but I don't like how everyone's just pushing that man in everybody's face. Like, he's a good quarterback, but my gosh, I feel like every time we talk about some quarterback, like Justin Herbert, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. I got the Broncos winning that. It's in San Diego. No, they're the Las Vegas. No, what? Where are the Chargers again? Los Angeles. That's the one. There's been teams in that West kind of moving. I get a little confused, but I got the Broncos in that game. Them winning that one. And then of course the 8:00 game, my boys versus the Eagles. We are 3.5-point favorites. I'm gonna pick us, obviously. Lamb has been playing really well lately. It's been nice to see Lamb doing this thing. It seems like Cooks is starting to kind of get into the offense. Our tight ends seems like he's starting to get into the Ferguson. He's starting to get into the offense and everything. So, and Dak's kind of grooving, man. I need Dak to come through tonight. We need him to come through tonight with a nice big win. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to brag about just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? At least for a week. I think we'll be good. I think we could get this dub tonight. I'm not really I'm not gonna say I'm not really worried, because Philly's a good team. I'm not gonna act like they're not. They're a good team, but I feel like we should be able to pull this one out tonight. But we shall see. Then Monday night, we have 2 Monday night games. Hello, I didn't know it was 2. Titans Dolphins. Dolphins are 13-point favorites. Dolphins should win this game. Like, it shouldn't be super hard. they need some quality wins too. This isn't the game though. This isn't this isn't the game. They're playing Tennessee. Tennessee's 4-8. They don't look great. So, um, but yeah, they have us on the schedule and the Ravens and Bills. So hopefully they would need at least a couple of those games. I think for to prove people a little prove people wrong that they're a solid team. I have Mostert on my team. Tyreek Hill has 1,400 receiving yards. He's pushing for 2K receiving yards. It'd be crazy if he gets it. It would shock anybody if he gets it because Tyreek's a weapon. He's crazy. But yeah, we're going with the Dolphins easily. They should. I feel like they're gonna win that at least by 2 to 3 scores. So, then there's the Packers and Giants. Let's talk about the Packers. Let's talk about my boy Jordan Love, man. I've been enjoying. He's been big for my team, my fantasy team. And the Packers are starting to they're doing their December thing. I know Aaron Rodgers isn't there, but the Packers are doing their December thing. They always do this thing in December where they just don't lose a game. That game against the Chiefs, that's a huge win. They easily have a shot to easily get in these playoffs if I believe they control their own destiny pretty much. Yeah, they're 7C right now. They're 6-6. They've won their last 3. Chargers, they beat the Chargers, Lions, and Chiefs. The Lions and Chiefs, 2 quality wins. After today against the Giants, which I'm obviously picking them, they should win this game pretty easy. They are 6.5-point favorites. But after this game, they have the Bucks, the Panthers, the Vikings, and Bears. Those are all winnable, especially those next 2. The Panthers should be an easy dub. Vikings, will see what happens. That's gonna be on New Year's Eve. That's gonna be interesting. But I see. I got the Packers winning this one, pretty easy. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the NFL. Let's see. Like I said, we had some gaming stuff happen this week, like big gaming stuff. GTA 6 trailer finally dropped. Something we've all been waiting for. At least one trailer. GTA, the first trailer. It's not going to be coming out till 2025, which I expected. Doesn't surprise me. I don't mind because it gives me a chance to get a better PC before it comes out. I do play roleplay. And my computer sometimes struggles a bit. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it's coming out 2025. Everybody was upset and stuff, and I'm like, the earliest that thing was gonna come out was like late 2024. That was gonna be the earliest. They're gonna build the hype continuously, even though GTA 5's been out for 10 years, which is insane. But yeah, I'm excited. It looks good. Everything on that. There was a lot of different references and things. It looks good though, man. I'm excited. Gaming has come such a long way. If I've been playing GTA's pretty much since I think GTA 3 was my first GTA, and you think about like GTA 1 and 2, where it was just pretty much like a top down kind of game. And we've gone through the years: San Andreas, Vice City, GTA 4, GTA 5, and now we're on GTA 6. So hopefully, I don't think they're gonna do this wrong. Rockstar pretty much has solid games. Storylines are always top tier. So I'm not surprised. But there's also been Overwatch dropped their new season this week. COD Warzone 3's out. I still have yet to try that. I'm hoping to try that within the next few days. Fortnite's had their new season last Sunday, and they've been busting off the updates. The new map, new season. Then they have like the Lego Fortnite, which is kind of Minecrafty, which I don't mind because I've actually been thinking about getting back into Minecraft. And then they have the racing. There was it. I think it's called Rocket Racing. 2 things I'd still need to try. I really haven't dived into the season like I wanted to. But I'm excited. I think Fortnite gets a lot of like hate, quote unquote, because it's, as like the people like to say, it's a kids game. But they innovate. They make things different. Fortnite's always different, regardless of how you may feel about Fortnite. You can't say that the game's boring. You can't say that the game doesn't try new things. And that's what I love That's why I love Fortnite. I've always respected Fortnite. I used to grind it like crazy before like Apex came out, which also they dropped their collection event this past week. Loba's Prestige skin. Uh, I'm not gonna be able to get it. I do not have a Prestige skin. I do want to try to get one soon, but I do have 3 heirlooms. um, but more than most people, I know there's people who've been playing literally since release and don't have one. um, but I got really lucky last summer. I ended up getting like two and like two heirloom shards in like 3 months. I have bloodhounds, which I bought pretty much from the collection event, the year 2 collection event, where you collected all the skins and you got heirloom shards. So I did that. Got bloodhounds heirloom, and then last summer when I got 2 sets of heirloom shards, I got octanes and lobas. Um, I started off as a lifeline main. I became a bloodhound main when they started nerfing her to the ground, and now I started playing a lot of Loba and Octane, so that's why I kind of jumped up their heirlooms when I had a chance. Um, but right now I'm kind of mixing it up. I used to have this thing where I'm trying to push for 100 kills with everybody. Then I was gonna push for 500 kills with everybody. I pretty much have the 100 kills. I haven't really dived into Conduit too much. I don't know. I just haven't taken the time and actually played her too much. But yeah, I have my most kills on Bloodhound. It's like 4,400 or something. I'm close to 2K with Loba. Octane, I think I'm at like 1,500. And then it's like I think Lifeline I have around 800. Bangalore I have like around 800. Um, and Seer, I was in my little Seer era with everybody else. At one point, but I think I got like 500 with him, and I think I got like 500 at Valkyrie because I had my little Valkyrie era too. Like, when she like was first released. So and then pretty much everybody else I have like 100, maybe 200. I know Gibby I have like 300. Um, and weirdly enough, he was my first Apex win ever. And I literally picked him by mistake. Got like 3 kills. We won the game. That was my first Apex win ever. When I remember saying I would never get one. But nonetheless, you got plenty of wins now. I've been pretty much been playing Apex since like the first week it came out. It's crazy. It's about to be 5 years this February that game's been out. I used to be really addicted, like I said, to Fortnite, but also PUBG. PUBG was another game I used to be addicted to. I haven't really played that much. I was playing on console, and if you were around for PUBG's release on console, y'all know the feeling. Y'all know what it was. It was bad. It's definitely gotten way better. And it's something I would dive back into. But I feel like the BR genre is kind of like meh. Like I think we're all kind of tired of it. Because there's so many BR games, and it's like, and I'm just kind of tired of just BRs. I still will play Fortnite. I still always play Apex as long as it exists. But nonetheless, man, that's pretty much it. I think I've pretty much covered everything I've wanted to cover in this. This is the first episode. I like to talk. If you guys haven't noticed, um, I love to talk, man. But I hoping I could keep this up. I want to do this at least 2 to 3 times a week. Like I said, we're gonna start off with just audio. Then maybe down the line, I'll be putting it on my stream, which I do stream on Twitch once again. That's twitch.tv/Big Mama Steph. That's BIGGMOMMASTEPH. You can find me there. Twitter is the same thing. Twitter.com says Big Mama Stuff. Instagram, Big Mama Stuff. TikTok is Big Mama Stuff _ because I have yet to get in my other account and delete that account so I could just have Big Mama Stuff. So yeah, my tweet has an underscore in it at the end. But you can follow me on there. I've been trying to post some TikToks and post some content, put some stuff out there. My YouTube is also Big Mama Stuff, which that's something else I'm trying to put out as well. But yeah, we're gonna try to put the content out there, man. And like I said, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more consistent with this. I feel like doing an audio kind of first, it kind of takes the nerves away. But yeah, that's all my socials. And I think I'm done here. I'll probably come back Monday, will be the 11th, and recap all the games from last night, which is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see what happened with my boys in Philly. Obviously, I'm gonna recap that like crazy. Then we're gonna get ready for the Monday games, and also shout out to the Lakers for winning the NBA in-season tournament. LeBron was playing out of his mind. I hate this. I said I was gonna end it, but LeBron James is insane. That man's about to be 39, I believe, in a couple weeks. And like he plays God, it's like does is he like when is he gonna just be like he's gonna have a bad season? Like I legit don't think LeBron's had a bad season. Um but it's crazy that he's still going, man. You gotta give him some gotta give him some love, regardless if you like him or not. Who you feel like the greatest of all time is. Um, LeBron is in what year 22 or something crazy like that, and the fact that he's still going and possibly by the time his son gets in the league, he probably will still be playing, which is nuts. It's crazy, but LeBron's insane. I'm definitely gonna. I haven't really been watching too much NBA this season. Definitely gonna start getting into it more. The NBA in season tournament I think definitely helped because usually around this time of year is pretty much football. It's football really. That's all we're really thinking about till the football season's over. Then we'll start like talk about basketball, even college. Um, Hockey's usually going on around this time too. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but like I said, I'm in Jersey and I'm not too far from the Devils Arena, Prudential Center. So, I do want to try to go to a hockey game one day soon, hopefully. But nonetheless, I want to thank you all for listening. If you listened this far, like I said, follow me on socials, Big Mama Stuff everywhere but TikTok, which is underscore at the end. Remember, go follow me on there. But yeah, we're gonna try to do this a few times a week. But as I sign out, love your faces, stay beautiful. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to drink your water, check on a homie, and remember you're loved. Peace.